but this championship is going to belong to Thomas. Question is, what will the time be? And I think that reaction says it all.
On October 10th, 2025, at a dual meet against the fourth-ranked team in the entire country at the University of Florida, an 18-year-old freshman named Thomas Heilman stepped onto the pool deck for his very first collegiate meet and did something that no other swimmer in that pool could match on that day. Thomas Heilman swept all 3 butterfly events in a single meet. He won the 50-yard butterfly with the fastest time in the entire NCAA that season up to that point. He won the 100-yard butterfly in 45.29, the second fastest time in the entire NCAA. He won the 200-yard butterfly in 1 minute, 41.69, the fastest time in the entire NCAA at that specific point in the season. 3 events, 3 wins, 1 meet. In his very first collegiate competition, wearing a University of Virginia cap for the first time in his life. For that performance, Thomas Heilman was named the Atlantic Coast Conference Men's Swimmer of the Week. He had announced himself to college swimming exactly the way he had announced himself to the entire international swimming world 4 years earlier as a teenager. Michael Phelps is the single greatest swimmer in the entire history of the sport, with 23 Olympic gold medals to his legendary name. But before Phelps became Phelps, he set a national age group record for 15 and 16-year-old boys in the 200-meter butterfly that many believed would never be touched by another swimmer his age for decades to come. That record was 1 minute, 54.58 seconds, set back in 2001, and remarkably, it was a world record at the exact time it was set. In 2023, at 16 years old, Thomas Heilman broke that exact record held by the greatest swimmer of all time. He swam 1 minute, 54.54, 0.04 of a second faster than Michael Phelps had gone at the exact same age. When reporters asked Heilman what it meant to break a record belonging to Phelps, he said, "It's just amazing to be even mentioned in the same sentence as him." Now, in 2026, Thomas Heilman is a freshman at the University of Virginia, training in the same elite championship program that has produced some of the fastest swimmers on the entire planet. He is racing toward the 2028 Los Angeles Olympics with renewed purpose. He is chasing the legacy of the very man whose record he already broke as a 16-year-old teenager. But before we get to where he is headed next, you need to understand the incredible journey that brought Thomas Heilman here, including a devastating tragedy that tested him just weeks before the biggest meet of his young collegiate career. Thomas Heilman was born on February 7, 2007, in Crozet, Virginia. He grew up swimming for the Jefferson Swim League, a local youth program in his hometown that gave him his very first exposure to organized competitive swimming against regional peers. By age 10, he had already broken a national age group record in the 100-yard butterfly for 10 and under boys, an early sign of the extraordinary talent that was still developing inside him. But it was in December of 2021, at just 14 years old, that Thomas Heilman truly announced himself to the swimming world. Over the course of 11 consecutive days, competing at 3 different meets, Heilman broke 14 separate national age group records, 14 records in 11 days. He was cracking a national record nearly every single time he touched the wall during that remarkable stretch. Heilman trained with Cavalier Aquatics, a competitive club program based in Virginia, throughout his entire age group career leading up to college. He attended Western Albemarle High School in Crozet, Virginia, where he won individual state titles in the 50-yard freestyle and 100-yard butterfly during his sophomore year, helping his high school team capture the overall state championship that season. His older brother, Matthew Heilman, was already an accomplished swimmer competing at the University of Virginia when Thomas was still in high school. Watching his brother compete at the collegiate level gave Thomas an early blueprint for what elite swimming excellence looked like up close, and it planted the seed for his own future commitment to the Cavaliers program years later. At the 2023 U.S. Swimming National Championships in Indianapolis, 16-year-old Thomas Heilman delivered a performance that shocked the entire swimming world. In the 200-meter butterfly, he chased down the field over the final 50 meters, overcoming a significant deficit, and touched the wall in 1 minute, 54.54 seconds. That time broke Michael Phelps's national age group record for 15 and 16-year-olds, a mark that had stood untouched since 2001. That swim made Heilman the youngest member of the United States World Championship team that year, positioning him to become the youngest American man to compete at a world championship since Michael Phelps himself did so back in 2001. The parallel to Phelps was not just about a broken record on paper. It was about a torch being passed across generations of American butterfly swimmers, from one prodigy to another more than 2 decades apart. At the 2023 World Championships in Fukuoka, Japan, Heilman advanced to the final of the 200-meter butterfly and finished 4th overall, missing the podium by just 16/100ths of a second. It was a remarkable performance for a 16-year-old swimmer competing against grown men on the world stage for the very first time in his career. The following year, in 2024, Heilman qualified for the Paris Olympics after a strong showing at U.S. Olympic trials. He competed in the 100 and 200-meter butterfly events individually in Paris, and he won a silver medal as part of the American 4x100-meter medley relay team. He had gone from breaking age group records as a young teenager to standing on an Olympic podium in less than 3 short years. Despite his extraordinary junior career filled with record after record, Heilman's transition to senior international competition brought real and significant challenges. At the Paris Olympics, he finished 18th in the 100-meter butterfly and 10th in the 200-meter butterfly in his individual events, results that fell well short of his own high expectations after years of dominance at the junior level. At the 2025 World Championships in Singapore, Heilman struggled again, failing to advance out of the preliminary rounds in the 100-meter butterfly, his only individual event at that particular meet. For the 3rd consecutive summer, Heilman experienced disappointment on the biggest international stages available in the sport, a stark contrast to the dominance he had shown as a teenager against age group competition just a few years earlier. These struggles did not define him, however, in the eyes of those who knew him best. They became part of the larger story of an athlete who was still developing physically, still growing into his body and his strength, and still learning how to translate his prodigious natural talent into consistent, senior-level international success on the biggest stages. Heilman remained, in the eyes of the swimming community and analysts across the sport, the future of American men's butterfly, even as that future required significant patience and continued development. Swimming experts noted that many of the greatest butterflyers in history experienced similar growing pains during the transition from junior to senior competition. The physical maturation process, combined with the psychological adjustment to racing fully grown men rather than teenage peers, often takes years to fully develop. Heilman's coaches and family remained confident that his best swimming was still ahead of him, even as the immediate results at major international championships did not yet match his junior-level dominance. In February of 2026, just weeks before the biggest meet of his freshman college season, Thomas Heilman experienced the greatest loss of his young life. His mother, Carrie Heilman, who worked as the faculty athletics representative to the University of Virginia's athletic department, passed away after a courageous battle with cancer. The loss devastated Heilman and his entire family during what should have been an exciting first year of collegiate competition. Support poured in from across Charlottesville and from the broader swimming community nationwide, all who understood the immense weight of what he was carrying into the most important competition of his collegiate career so far. Rather than withdrawing from the sport during this period of profound grief, Heilman made the difficult decision to continue competing. He carried his mother's memory with him to the Atlantic Coast Conference Championships in February, where he won silver medals in both the 100 and 200-meter butterfly events, setting new University of Virginia program records in the process despite the emotional weight he was carrying. Weeks later, at the 2026 NCAA Championships in Atlanta, Georgia, Heilman delivered the performance of his young career under the most difficult circumstances imaginable. In the 100-yard butterfly, competing in the fastest field in the event's entire history, he swam a lifetime best of 43.58 seconds to finish 4th, trailing only 3 swimmers who had all gone under 43 seconds for the very first time in NCAA history. In the 200-yard butterfly, he smashed his personal best by 8 full tenths of a second, challenging for the podium position until the very final yards of the race. He accomplished all of this just 1 single month after losing his mother. His resilience became a story that resonated far beyond the swimming community alone, a powerful testament to what it means to compete through unimaginable personal grief while still delivering career-best performances on the biggest stage of collegiate swimming. Teammates and coaches described his composure during this period as nothing short of remarkable, a display of maturity well beyond his 18 years. Drop a comment right now and tell me what you think Thomas Heilman does next. Do you think he becomes the greatest American male butterflyer since Michael Phelps? Do you think he wins Olympic gold at the Los Angeles Games? Do you think he breaks American records in the 100 and 200-meter butterfly before he graduates? I read every single comment you leave below in the section. Todd DeSorbo, the head coach at the University of Virginia, who has already guided swimmers like Gretchen Walsh and Kate Douglas to multiple world records, now has Thomas Heilman in his championship program. DeSorbo knows something that most casual swimming fans do not yet fully understand or appreciate. He has watched Heilman handle unimaginable personal tragedy while still delivering lifetime best performances on the biggest stage of his young collegiate career. DeSorbo has built one of the most dominant training programs in all of college swimming, producing world record holders and Olympic champions across multiple events simultaneously. He sees in Heilman the same combination of natural talent and mental toughness that has defined his other championship swimmers throughout the years. He believes that Heilman's very best swimming, at both the collegiate and international levels, is still ahead of him as he continues to mature and develop both physically and mentally. The Virginia program has become a destination for elite swimmers precisely because of DeSorbo's ability to develop talent into record-breaking performances. Having Heilman alongside training partners like Walsh and Douglas creates an environment where world-class expectations are simply the daily standard, pushing every swimmer in the program to reach new levels of performance. October 10th, 2025, Gainesville, Florida, a dual meet between the University of Virginia and the 4th-ranked Florida Gators, one of the premier programs in college swimming. Thomas Heilman's very first collegiate competition, wearing the orange and blue of Virginia for the first time in his life. Heilman came into the meet as a heralded Olympic silver medalist and former world championship finalist, carrying significant expectations into his college debut. But college dual meets carry a very different kind of pressure than international championships. He was racing as a true freshman against seasoned collegiate veterans for the very first time in his athletic career, in an unfamiliar format against unfamiliar competition. The 50-yard butterfly came first on the program. Heilman touched the wall with the fastest time in the entire NCAA that season up to that point. Then came the 100-yard butterfly. Heilman swam 45.29, the second fastest time in the entire NCAA at that stage of the season. Then came the 200-yard butterfly, the final event of his sweep attempt. Heilman closed out the perfect sweep with 1 minute, 41.69, the fastest time in the entire NCAA at that specific point in the season. 3 races, 3 victories, a complete sweep of every single butterfly event on the program in his very first collegiate meet as a Virginia Cavalier. The performance was so dominant and so immediate that the Atlantic Coast Conference named him its Swimmer of the Week before his first full week of college competition had even fully concluded. Here is what comes next for Thomas Heilman as he continues his collegiate and international career. He continues his sophomore season at the University of Virginia under Todd DeSorbo, training alongside some of the fastest swimmers in the entire world. He will look to build on his outstanding freshman NCAA performance, where he earned first-team All-America honors in the 100 butterfly, 200 butterfly, and the 800 freestyle relay, along with second-team honors in multiple additional relay events. Internationally, Heilman is targeting the 2028 Los Angeles Olympics, where he hopes to finally translate his extraordinary junior success and his Phelps record-breaking talent into individual Olympic hardware on home soil in front of his home crowd. He already holds a silver medal from the Paris Olympic relay competition. He is chasing his first individual Olympic medal in front of an American crowd in Los Angeles, a goal that would complete the journey that began with breaking Phelps's record as a 16-year-old. The comparisons to Michael Phelps have followed Heilman since he was 16 years old, when he broke the legend's national age group record in the 200-meter butterfly. Those comparisons carry significant weight. But Heilman has also shown throughout his young career that his path will not be a straight line toward greatness. He has faced international setbacks at the senior level. He has faced unimaginable personal tragedy just weeks before the biggest meet of his life. And through all of it, he has kept swimming, kept improving, and kept delivering lifetime best performances precisely when it mattered most. Heilman's story has already inspired countless young swimmers who face their own personal challenges and setbacks. His ability to perform at an elite level while carrying profound grief demonstrates a level of mental fortitude that goes beyond athletic talent alone. Coaches across the country have pointed to his NCAA performance as a case study in resilience. showing that champions are built through the ability to compete and excel even when life presents its most difficult moments. So here is the question. Does Thomas Heilman break an American record in the 100 or 200-meter butterfly before the Los Angeles Olympics arrive? Does he finally translate his prodigious talent into individual international gold on the senior stage? Does he become the swimmer that the entire sport has expected him to be since he was 14 years old, breaking 14 national records in just 11 days? Drop your answer in the comments below. I read every single one. And if you want to be here when this 19-year-old Virginia butterfly star continues chasing the legacy of Michael Phelps, subscribe right now. The next great American butterflyer is still writing his story, one lap at a time. His journey continues, one race and wall touch at a time, carrying both his talent and the memory of everyone who helped him get to this point.